Let's do this. Okay.
This show is edutainment. Stands for edu, enter, smashed into one. Not to be taken as financial. I'm not your financial advisor. I don't know your financial situation. And investing with just the charts is just one way of doing it, right? Looking at the charts. Oh, you gonna stay with me? Okay. We're gonna have breakfast together. Okay, I'll have breakfast with you.
It's not. What? My food is amazing. Just the bean down. I don't know why, because
We're eating on
green
what?
and these are white. This is actually not my breakfast. You ever look up late at the sister? I didn't want anything to,
Intro.
Welcome to Media World. I'm Callie Luke, Alpha Girl Luke, and this is 8 at 8, and 8 minutes right now.
Boom. Today we're talking about Intel.
And
What's the ticker number symbol? What's the ticker symbol?
INTC.
That's right. It's part of the S&P 500 and part of Information Technology XLK. If you're an investor, you got to look at this because they're going to have their wonderful earnings report this week, July 28th, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Most of the time it's Eastern, but represent Silicon Valley on the West Coast. This is where Intel's at. So we're taking a look at Intel today. So let's not talk more about this, but no, in about 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe they're going to do their conference call, and that's where we're going to get some big swings. So let's see where it is from a long-term investor standpoint, okay? Now, Catalina, looking at this chart, this is what it's done since 87. That's a long time. So what is this stock doing right now?
It's right now. It's buying, I think.
Well, I want to buy this dip. Could.
But
It's still going down, right?
but that little white one could also mean it's going up a little bit.
You betcha, it's
Because
going up.
it's green.
Yeah, this is
White means green too.
white means green as well. So this
Or
is
sometimes it's like not sure.
it's not sure. Yeah, definitely.
Actually, yellow's not sure.
This one's not sure. It's going sideways, up and down, right?
Yeah.
Right now it might be meeting a bottom. Yes, darling.
Where's the sunblock?
Oh, maybe Cat Kit can help you find sunblock. I'm gonna do my show and then I'll help you out. All right, everybody. It is to the downside. Like Catalina said, if you're a buy and hold investor, you are buying this dip with supreme confidence that it will go back up, as you think that this is a winner in your books. So you got to have some really strong conviction and know the true value of Intel.
Okay.
If we're talking about from a swing perspective, from a swing perspective, boom, there, that's a better chart. We're using a daily chart to do that. We're looking at Bollinger Bands here, and we're looking for the opportunities to buy and sell as well. So we're using Bollinger Band. If at the bottom of this Bollinger Band, that means it's time to buy. If it is at the top, it's time to sell. It actually hit the top of this, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 days. It hit outside of this Bollinger Band, and then now it is coming back down. So you also want to check this out. So we want to zoom in here. Come on, charts. Let's go like this. All right. So if you're going to play these dips, obviously, you would have taken profits right, boom, right there in these last 3 trading days, or last week sometime. You would have noticed this weakening right there, and you would have noticed this as well, right? It went from light green, boom, exploding up to dark green, weakening as well. Will it drop lower to this? It'll probably get to the medium. So today, if we're having a down day, it might get to 38. As we're coming around to earnings, if the earnings are good, we could just see this pop and fly. So it's hard to make a call this time. You would just watch it. I wouldn't put any swing trades on until earnings, unless you hear some good stuff about the earnings. But I don't know. It looks like it's bottoming out. We've had a good floor here. I would say 37 is a true floor. If it hits a little 35, if it has a weak earnings call, it could definitely break this. But I would say 37.25 is probably a really strong floor at this moment. Hopefully, it has a really great earnings call. This is where your research past these charts. You got to go into the 401k. You got to go into 10Ks. You got to go in, not 401k, 10Ks. Their annual reports. You got to go dive deeper into understanding a little bit more about Intel and how they're doing, right? They've done a whole bunch of stuff. So let's take a look at that. Let's dive a little deeper. So if we're looking at Intel, all right, here, we only have 3 minutes left. Their earnings call is coming up pretty soon. Expectation isn't that great. We're thinking about 0.69. That's a lot lower than they've ever guided before in the street. So if they do a good surprise for us, we're going to be really happy with that. I'll drive it up. In terms of today, is it going to move today? 188 earnings. We are into earnings season. 35 stock splits, 40 economic events. Out of those economic events, let's load this up and let's take a look at what's going to affect us here in North America. On this list, there isn't much. I saw U.S. National Activity Index, where Dallas Fed is meeting, and that's about it. So fairly light on the economic. It's really focused on earnings season, right? So in the news, this is what's going to turn around. A lot of people like Intel because they think it's a little underdog. They were a giant, and then they've kind of fallen behind in chips. They've even outsourced some of their chip making as a foundry. They've mostly become a design firm as well, designing chips and then getting other people to make it. So this is some other reports that people are saying, right? I told you about other people making theirs right there. Taiwan Semiconductor, that's what TSMC is. They've been starting to really kind of being the leader in foundry space. Also, they're having their big earnings, and the company's weakest link is their business segment. Woo, that's a mouthful. I need to practice my mouth here and move it. All right. So this is facing a massive headwind. I think there's a lot of trouble that it's going to face, but let's see how it's going to move today in the market. So let's go into intraday. That is, we're looking at a 1 minute chart. Kat, what's the tool that we're going to use here? It's called a Fibonacci. We're taking the bottoms, we're taking the highs, and then we're taking a look at the range. And today it is at the very low of the range. VWAP is 38.7. It is having some downward pressure. It is down, if you guys can see right there, 1% today. So it's hitting 38 and 35s. It'll probably get back up to VWAP 38 as we're having a little bit of a bounce. But you can see a clear bottom at, let's just say 38.50 is the bottom. Is it going to break it? I don't know. If the market is heading more south today, it could break 38.50. I would say your high today is 39 as with a strong medium at 39. So let's see here. That is not a very big spread. I would say that is probably just a 50-cent spread that you're going to make on Intel. Not moving around a lot. There you go. There's your 50 cents that you can see up there. But yeah, with that said, it's bottoming out, it's curling right now. This is anybody's guess. I think it's going to be relatively quiet until earnings call as well. Kat, what do you think this stock's going to do in the next little bit? Oh man, it's gone.
It looks like it's flat, so I think that
Going flat. AKA going sideways, not going anywhere. All right. Well, let's take a look at this charts for you. We'll load this up here. Let's see if we can find the right one. Is that the one? No, I can tell that one is a daily. That's the one that we're looking at right there. So we're just gonna zoom in here, expand that a little. Oh, we're gonna expand that a little bit so you guys can see it. As you can see, that is really flat. right? Let's expand that a little bit. It's just going sideways, not going anywhere, Intel. In a nice range. So this is harder to trade. As you can see, it's in a 182, 170, so it's in a 10-cent spread. 10-cent thing, if it's just barcoding back and forth, back and forth. You could try to earn tops and bottoms on 10 cents, but it is absolutely just barcoding and not really doing anything right here. So if you're doing that, I'm also reminded to check slippage and your commission fees as well, because if you're going to trade that up and down, up and down, up and down, you better be getting a good commission rate. You don't want to be charging those crazy flat fees for some of these brokers. You want to have some good commission fee. And then if you're on a free platform, you really got to watch slippage as what you set as your bid or your ask. With the slippage, it could take you at a couple of cents or a couple of pennies, and you definitely don't want that. So with that said, I think we're done here. We're going to close this up. It's a nothing burger until the end of this week. Then we're going to have some a movement right here. So all right, everybody, with that said, we are kind of out of here. Does that sound good, Kat? We're out of here?
Yeah, but I have no neck.
Uh-oh, I'm moving stuff around.
This is somebody with a long neck.